Who do you trust? That's a big question, and it's something for you to think about in terms of the people, environment, the circumstance, your work, and yourself. Welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Kanchefu, and today we're going to discuss who do you trust, but in a much deeper way. Trust can mean many things. It can mean different things to different people. When I say trust you, what does it mean? Does it mean you allow somebody to know your deepest thoughts? Or does it mean you allow someone to take care of your children? Or you allow sharing money with others if they're in need? What does it take for you to experience or express trust to oneself? I'm sure you've got many variations and ideas of trust. So what is it? And through what it is, who is it given to? I gave a few examples of friends, family, work colleagues, but who is it you trust? Is it your siblings? Is it people younger than you, older than you, or people who have a particular materialistic item, for instance a Ferrari? Are they more trustworthy than somebody who's got a Toyota? Who is it you trust? And remember, trust isn't just in the physical world, but online. You may trust someone who's got a voice of followers rather than someone who's got thousands of followers because of their proclaimed social value. So who do you trust? And in addition, in which circumstances do you trust? If somebody you knew in need needed some money, would you trust them to pay you back? Or if somebody saw homeless on the street needed money, would you trust them with the money you're giving them? Which circumstances do you trust? And which circumstances do you not trust in? We're truly painting a picture. What does trust mean to you? What is it determined by? And then what can you use it for going forward? But if you haven't noticed already, if that's external, what's internal? And what I mean by that is, there's essentially an external way of trusting, outside world, outside people, outside things. But ultimately, what about the trust you have with yourself? What about the trust you have with your thoughts, your feelings, your mind, your actions, and the things you believe? Do you trust in you? Do you trust the things you say out loud? Do you believe in them truly? Do you trust yourself? Do you believe in yourself? And do you really? Now, I don't say this to trigger you or condemn you, but for you to face your truth. Because it's within that you find out the true North Star. You find out the true path you're meant to be walking along. And not a facade of the way things have been. It's deep, it's truthful, and it hurts sometimes. Because neglecting a thing so much means it rots away in its own corner. But bringing it out in the light, it means it needs to be brushed off. It needs to be looked at. And it needs to be nurtured and matured. So once again, do you really trust yourself? If you do, that's great. But if you don't, what are those thoughts, those feelings, and that disturbance you're feeling right now within your core, within your heart, within your mind? Because it's through identifying those, it's through realizing that they're there, that we can work on it and determine who do you trust. Essentially, uncover that and you'll uncover new parts of yourself. But before you do that, be sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this discussion. So now you know or have determined what trust is to you. And also you have a grasp, an idea of if you trust yourself. But what happens tomorrow? What happens after this video, when you watch the next video? When you go about your day, when you wake up tomorrow in a different state, in a different mood, what happens then? You revert back to the way things have been? Or do you continue in this new path, in this new light, in this new way of being? Ultimately, I can't force you, I can't make you do anything. You take in what I say or you take it out. You determine what happens in your life and you don't. But it's all up to you. It's a lot of responsibility, it's a lot of pressure sometimes you may feel. But within that, it also creates freedom. No longer being attached or enslaved onto what is deteriorating you. Actually getting a hold of what is growing you. Growth is never easy, growth is never smooth. But growth is a fundamental part of life. But it's up to you whether you want to participate in that growth or not. All in all, I understand trust is a vast subject. Trust is a part of many different facets of life. And trust can be manipulated through those different facets of life. That means events, experiences, feelings and thoughts can be disturbed through the trust you have outlaid to others. In embarking on self-improvement, embarking on personal development, you get the opportunity to create that new sense of self. You get a new opportunity to create a new mindset around who it is you trust, where you give that trust, when you give it, and why you give it. Because ultimately, now you're stepping in that new being. Now you're stepping with that new, rejuvenated self that is enabled to give part of your trust to others when they need it, not depleting yourself. So this is really a subject to think about. Sit down and have time with yourself to understand yourself even more, even better, and for the future. And that's what I'm going to leave today's discussion. My name is Jocko Kanchefu. I hope you have a good day, morning, night or evening. For wherever you are in the world watching this, if you're new, subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's video, share this video with the person that came up in your mind every time I said the word trust. feel free to like this video as well. I'll see you in our next discussion.